How I got involved with the Gene Generation and how I met Pearry was through MySpace, believe it or not. I was kind of surfing around various movies that were on MySpace and landed on Gene Generation, thought it looked great, and just sent them an email asking if they had a composer yet. I was very excited by all the visuals I saw. The movie was shot, I believe, by the time I got on. There was a trailer and a lot of stills and things up on MySpace. So that's the famous you can find work on MySpace kind of thought. Stylistically, when it came to Gene Generation, there were things about the film that kind of led me, say the Asian instruments, I knew that was going to go there, but then also it was a very dark looking film too, and so I knew that I was going to be using, but the viola da gamba, for instance, was something that came in that I think was inspired by the darkness of the film, or the darkness of the style. One of the main aspects of the score to Gene Generation is Melissa R. Kaplan, who's a singer, artist. She's worked with a lot of big composers. She has that Bulgarian singing that, we find in things like with what Lisa Gerrard did and Gladiator and that kind of thing. Pearry had come up with text, a written alphabet. So I had Melissa sing in what I called a pan-ethnic style. And so I attached phonetic symbols to each of the different characters of the alphabet. So when she was singing, each of those vowels that she sings, I actually wrote out what she was going to sing and created a whole new kind of dialogue. Another cool aspect of this score is we brought in a zhonghu player. Zhonghu is the cello range, basically, of an erhu, which is the Chinese violin. There's a whole family of them. The erhu, or zhonghu, came in because of, obviously, the Asian influence of the film, too. I wrote the notes out, and I knew the range of the instrument, and I knew basically how to write for it, but I still didn't know what I was going to get until we actually did it. And it came out really nice. It really worked. The challenge of this score, really, once I got Michelle's theme written, which was the big thing to get done, was making sure that it fit in and how it fit in with the scenes. There's a scene where she's walking down the hall, and you hear Michelle's theme, and then she gets interrupted by seeing Christian in the doorway, and the music kind of had to stop there. And so I wrote this cue where it kind of goes along and you hear her theme, then it suddenly stops, and you get I think there's a little taste of his. And there's this flute theme that sort of ties in with Christian and Michelle. We ended up calling it the love theme, actually, because one of the things that the Pearry mentioned is that he wanted this kind of love theme that would refer to love as a romantic love versus brotherly, sisterly love, so that this flute theme became this glue. I think the main thing to get from the score from the Gene Generation is the human aspect of it. I did do a few of the action scenes, and I did do a couple of the big kind of Gothic cityscape scenes. But generally I was there to bring in that human, emotional aspect of the film, I think. Besides what the characters had already done on the screen with their acting, this just brought that other level. Gene Generation was a fantastic score to write, and it was a lot of fun, and the film is really good, and I think everything about the whole process was just a really great time. My favorite theme in the score, it has to be Michelle's theme. It pretty much is the one that dominates the film, and my favorite version of it is actually at the end titles when it's just a simple piano accompaniment. It's not complicated, it's just kind of stripped down, and there's something very intimate about it.
you.